Death, Dying and Grief. Jatubayon.
Samira Danaga, Psych 370.
Dr. Norma Lawrence. It is not death that man should fear,
But he should fear, never begin to live.
Marcus Aurelius. Death in isolation. Patients with COVID-19 and other pathologies were all in isolation, resulting in restricted access from family members in all healthcare settings. This led to patients dying alone without the comfort of family members. During the COVID-19, nurses gave emotional support to patients and family. Nurses spend a lot of time with their patients. Therefore, they never tried to let them feel abandoned, despite family absence. I was one of the nurses that took part in the care of patients while they were suffering in the COVID-19 pandemic. Having their loved ones next to them, even for a quick visit, we replaced their family, expressing joy for their little improvements, distracting them by joking, showing closeness, affection by holding their hands, and caressing and hugging them.
Honest communication. Reconnect with loved ones. Deep listening is an essential part of being present. It's one of the most important skills you need if you want to be in the helping field. Make eye contact, provide nonverbal feedbacks, and ask questions rather than giving your own opinion. You might learn something.
Care less about dying.
And care more about living.
Our mission statement. Our mission today is to help you deal with the stages of grief. Find support systems. Live your life before dying. People have always had a difficult time to deal with death, dying and grief.
So, we are providing information on how to deal with someone's death. Prepare for a good death. If you have any terminal illnesses or if you are at the end of life because of age.
Death is a stigma. And why is it so hard to talk about it?
Fear. Maybe it's hard to be far from loved ones or hard to leave loved ones behind. 2 terminally ill men escaped from cancer hospital and had head off on a road trip with a wish list of to-do list before they died. 2007 bucket list, things to do before you kick the bucket.
Yeah. Our native people, the old people, usually have their own way of living their last days or have their own bucket list before they die. They turn to nature. They spend time outdoors, whether it is a garden, park, or by the sea.
Celebrate milestones. Celebrate the little things in life as of right now, today.
Express gratitude. Just be happy for your remaining time you have left.
Make amends. Forgive and forget.
The grief stages. Elizabeth Kubler-Ross outlined the grief stages in her book on death and dying in 1969. She offered it as a guide, but also underlined each person's experience that was different. She also said the stages were not always consequential. Some researchers disputed the model, but many people found it helpful. That denial, that was the first stage that anybody could do. That when there's a terminal illness or when there is death near, they deny it. Then, towards the meantime, they get angry about it. And then there becomes bargaining. They start to bargain about death. Then there becomes depression. That they become so depressed that they are going to die, that later on there's acceptance, wherein they give up to death.
Universality. All living things must eventually die. Death is all inclusive.
Death is inevitable, it can never be stopped, unavoidable. Further considerations. We are ready and prepared. Are you? Life is a wonderful thing as we come to experience it on earth in a good or bad way.
Shakespeare said that life is like a stage in which everybody played their own part and leave the stage.
But we, the dying, death and grieving group say that death is inevitable. It is a rite of passage. No matter what we do, we have to finish those rites. Go through what we go through it. We are prepared and ready in whatever form it comes. For death is afraid of no one. It lays in its icy hands even on kings. But its hands will be warm when it comes for us, because we are prepared and ready. As health workers and people in other walks of life, death is the common thing we all share after our life mission has been fulfilled. We are ready. Are you? Death should not cause us to live in fear,
but rather to live our life in the very best way that we can.
Legacy. At the end, what legacy do you leave in this earth?
A legacy may come from one's character and the life lived, setting an example for others and to guide the future.
Someone you love becomes a memory. The memory becomes a treasure, author unknown. If you have a choice when to say goodbye, would you?
Well, in this clip, we'll show you if you have a choice when to say goodbye. Would you?
Old people who come around and have tears and cry, and that's difficult to say goodbye to everyone.
Yeah.
And that's what I wear. It's special because I made it myself.
Yeah, beautiful.
It's on my card to send around I'm died. Do you want to see the photo where I wear it?
Yeah, sure.
So we have to go here. Feel so strong here, so yeah. So glad, so. This come over my kist, my coffin. So first, you are, how do you call it in English?
A caterpillar?
Yeah. And then, this is the road you have to go. And these are the nice flowers, but there are always stones, the ugly stones. So it's about my life.
When does someone become the butterfly?
When he died.
When you die?
Yeah. I worked in a hospice, so I've seen many dead people. And you can always see that the soul come out. They are happy, really happy. Nothing matter anymore.
Antoinette,
Ja.
we gaan spuiten. Dat betekent dat je gaat sterven en dat is wat je wilt.
Ja.
Klopt dat?
Ja.
Ja?
Ja.
Oké. Dit wordt verdoving. Hier merk je verder nog
Niks van.
niet veel van. Nee. Wat ik nu in ga spuiten, daar ga je van onderzeil.
Oké.
En het kan zijn dat het een heel klein beetje branderig is. Maar daar was
In mijn
de
arm
verdoving
bedoel je?
in je arm.
Ja, oké. Ja.
Ga maar, lief.
Goeie reis, Antoinette.
Dankjewel. Dank je.
Dag.
Oké.
van jou, lief.
Bye.
Love you.
Dankjewel.
Dag, lief.
Ja, ik voel het wel nu komen.
Ja,
laat
dat
maar gaan.
voel je
Mooie
snel.
reis.
Maar lekker los.
Mooie reis.
Dat
Laat
voel je
maar gaan.
snel.
Ja, dank je hoor.
Maar dit was het definitieve middel. Ik ga even luisteren. Ik denk dat ze... Ja. Sheila, gecondoleerd.
Wat mij altijd bij zal blijven, is het moment dat ze overleden was. En ik haar even kon knuffelen. Even bij haar heb gelegen. En er gevoeld heb. Wat ik een mooi moment vind.
She gave the moment. Okay, let's do it. She was still joyful, happy. She chose her moment. And she got her moment.
Do you think this is a new perspective on how dying can work?
We should consider as humanity that we give more options in future. Because when your life is over, whether it's physically or psychologically, you have the right, I think, to take control of your own life and death. And I think we have seen here a great example of how it can be done.
In 2002, the Netherlands became the first country to legalize euthanasia. Since then, more than 37,000 people here have ended their lives with a doctor's assistance. But here in the US, assisted suicide has always been controversial, and for years was associated with the polarizing Dr. Jack Kevorkian.
When there's a suffering human out there begging for help, and the doctors say, "We can't help you," and they walk away, you think I'm going to turn away? Never.
Today, the practice is legal in only 5 states, but more states began to consider legalizing assisted suicide when the movement got a new face. Brittany Menard.
I know that it's there when I need it. I plan to be surrounded by my immediate family, which is my husband and my mother and my stepfather, and I will die upstairs in my bedroom that I share with my husband.
Ultimately, Menard was able to end her life as she wished, but her high-profile story served as a reminder that in most states, Americans don't have that right.
She said her goal was to begin a national conversation about how we handle the end of life.
Shortly after Menard's death, Christina Simmons moved to Oregon so she could have the same choice. Christina suffers from ALS, a degenerative disease that causes paralysis, respiratory failure, and is 100% fatal.
When did you start thinking about the right to die or having an aided death?
I saw Brittany Maynard's story on TV, and that just shocked me. I had no idea that we didn't have that option in California. So I'm watching this going, wow. Because I read what happens in the end of my disease. The only thing you'll be able to move in the end are your eyeballs. I don't want to go through that horror, and I certainly don't want to put my kids through that.
So how old is everyone?
Okay, tell them how old you are.
I'm 8.
You're 8. What's your name?
Emerson. Ferguson, I'm 5.
Ferguson's 5. 10.
Then his name is
Hudson.
And then Madison is 11.
Christina's husband, Teddy, a former policeman, retired early so that the family could make the move to Oregon before Christina's disease became too disabling.
What does Teddy think about your right to choose and even the idea of it?
He's completely supportive of it, and I asked him if the shoe were in the other foot. He's like, I'm right there with you. He wouldn't ride it out either.